You know the feeling, right? That buzz in your pocket from a number you don't recognize? Maybe it's a deal that seems way too good to be true, or a notification about a package you never ordered. It feels like just another daily annoyance, but it's actually the front line of an invisible war, a war being fought right inside your phone. So today, we're going to dive into the battle for your inbox.
So, why is this even happening? Well, it's because your attention is one of the most valuable things on the planet right now. And your text message inbox? That's the most direct path to get it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on who exactly is fighting for that attention, what the rules of engagement are, and most importantly, what you can do to fight back.
Okay, first things first, we have to understand the massive game changer in all of this: technology. If you feel like you've been getting way more unwanted texts and that they're getting smarter and more convincing, you're not imagining things. It's because we're all dealing with an AI-fueled spam tsunami that has completely changed the landscape.
And this quote from MasterCard, it really just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures how this whole thing is a two-way street. AI isn't just a weapon for the bad guys, it's also become the shield for the good guys. It is a full-blown technological arms race, and that's the real conflict playing out right now.
And that is the absolute core of the problem. We are smack in the middle of an AI arms race. Attackers are using generative AI to pump out millions of incredibly convincing, personalized scam messages. I mean, they can clone voices and automate fraud on a scale that was literally impossible just a few years ago.
So, with all this wild technology, what's stopping our phones from just becoming a total free-for-all? Well, believe it or not, there are rules. There's a whole legal framework that's supposed to be our main line of defense, and it all comes down to the rules of consent. The cornerstone of this whole defense is a law called the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, or TCPA. And get this, it was passed way back in 1991. Can you believe it? Back then, the biggest problem wasn't texts, it was unwanted faxes. But the principles of that law have been stretched and adapted to protect us from robocalls and, of course, unwanted text messages.
And the entire legal standard, pretty much the whole thing, hinges on this one key phrase: prior express written consent. What that means in plain English is that for a company to send you a marketing text, you have to give them a clear, definite yes first. They can't just assume it's cool because you bought something from them 5 years ago.
So let's look at the difference between doing it the right way and the wrong way. The right way, the compliant way, is you actively checking a box that was empty to begin with. The wrong way? Oh, that's all the sneaky stuff. It's using those pre-checked boxes or burying the consent language in page 47 of the Terms of Service. The law is super specific. The burden is on them to get your clear consent, not on you to go hunting for hidden traps. Now, just because a law exists doesn't mean the fight is over. Not by a long shot. These rules are constantly being tested and challenged in court, and a recent legal tug-of-war over something called the lead generator loophole shows you just how intense this battle can get. So, picture this. You go to a website to compare car insurance quotes. You type in your phone number one time, you check one little box, and then bam, your phone is absolutely exploding with calls and texts from a dozen different insurance companies. Well, the FCC saw this happening and said, whoa, that's not right. So they tried to bring in a new rule called one-to-one consent, which basically says your one click is only permission for one single company to contact you. But you have to see how fast this all played out. It was a whirlwind. In 2023, the FCC adopts the rule. But then, in January 2025, literally days before it was supposed to take effect, a federal court swooped in and struck it down. It never even had a chance. By July, the FCC had to officially repeal the whole thing. It was a huge win for those lead generation companies and a pretty big setback for folks who wanted tighter rules. So why'd the court do it? Well, it all comes down to this one line from their opinion. The judges basically argued that the FCC went too far. They said the original law from 1991 requires prior express consent, and that the FCC couldn't just add a plus on top of it. The court's message was pretty clear: stick to the original script. Okay, I know that all might sound a little bit discouraging, like businesses hold all the cards. But that is not the whole story. The law actually gives you a very clear, very powerful tool to fight back. So let's talk about your power to just say stop and how you can take back control of your own inbox. This is the million-dollar question, right? You gave consent, maybe by accident, and now you just want out. How do you actually do it? Well, the good news is, the answer is a lot simpler than you probably think. Here's the most important thing you need to know. The FCC has made it crystal clear.
You have the right to revoke your consent in any reasonable way. A company can't tell you how you have to do it. They can't force you to go to their website or call a special number. If you tell them to stop in a way any normal person would understand, they have to stop, period. And to make it even easier, there's basically a standardized list of keywords that all automated systems are supposed to recognize. Think of them as the magic words. Replying with any of these words you see here, stop, quit, unsubscribe, you name it, is a legally recognized, no questions asked way to take back your consent. The whole process is super straightforward. Step 1, you reply with one of those magic words. Step 2, you should get one, and only one, final message confirming your request. If they send more, that's a violation. And step 3, they legally have to stop sending you messages within 10 business days. It's a simple, required process. So let's circle all the way back to where we started, technology. Because here's the really cool part. Just as AI made the attacks on our inboxes so much worse, it's now becoming our most powerful shield. The defense is finally catching up. We are truly in an AI arms race now, and we're fighting fire with fire. And look at this beautiful symmetry here. For pretty much every dirty trick the attackers use AI for, there's now a defensive AI move to counter it. They use AI to create a million scam messages. Well, our phones now have AI on board to detect them. They use AI to automate fraud. Our phones can analyze calls in real time for red flags, like someone asking for gift cards. This new defensive tech is powered by something called on-device AI, and that phrase, on-device, is absolutely critical. It means that to protect your privacy, all the analysis, all the smarts, it all happens right there on your phone. Your private texts and calls never get sent to some company's server, and that is a huge win for our privacy. Which brings us to our final big question. In this never-ending war for our inboxes, what's the ultimate answer? Is it just better, smarter AI technology on our phones? Or, at the end of the day, does true, lasting control always come back to strong, clear laws like the TCPA? And our simple, powerful right as people to just stand up and say, stop. It's definitely something to think about the next time your phone buzzes.